Well, I want to start asking some questions that maybe you can meditate or pray about it. But the first one is, do you believe in God? And I want to pause over there. I want to share what the Bible says in James 2:19. Actually, if you talk with people around you, even in the street, in the market, you can ask them, even in these times, if they believe in God. Probably the 70% or 80% they're gonna say yes, they believe in God. But James 2:19 says that even the demons believe in God and they tremble. That's the first question. And the other question for started this devotional is, do you believe Him? Because it's not the same to believe in God and believe Him. Every time that you try to come to Jesus and try to be in the intimacy with God, it's important that you know that He exists and that He is real. Is the one the things that and the Bible said in Hebrews 11:6, one part of that verse says, whoever will draw near to God must believe that He exists and that He rewards those who seek Him. God is real, and it's more real that the things that you can touch, the things that you can even feel. And Colossians 1:16 says that everything that you can see and touch was created for something that you can see. Probably we can see Him, but we can feel Him. And this devotional, God just put in my heart to share about Psalms 63. And David started with this psalm saying, "Oh God, you are my God." And believe me, when I started reading this chapter, just those words didn't make me just cry like for I don't know how many hours, because you said, "Oh God, you are my God." Sometimes you say you are my God when you are really happy that something happened in your life. Or sometimes you say, "Oh God, you are my God," when you are desperate to see something that needs to happen in your life and your family. But to put in context this chapter, I just want to share what is about this. The David start reading and not reading, writing that chapter in Psalm 63:1. He starts saying, "Oh Lord, you are my God." And we are here trying to figure it out what is the heart of worship means. You can see and read David's life. You can see how he referred to God. In this moment, he was trying to escape from his son, Absalom, because he was trying to kill him. And he was desperate for water. He was desperate for eating something. He says, "I remember you in my bed." That's me at night. He said, "I early seek your face." That's me in the morning. He was close to God every day, every moment. And that was the life of King David. As humans, we tend to seek God during hard situations, because when we are good or everything is going easy, we tend to forget what the Lord has done. And like I said, we are trying to figure it out what the heart of worship is in this moment. And probably I don't wanna, and I'm not gonna read all the chapter, but in some part of the chapter, he says, when I remember you, when I meditate on you, because he was his helper and he always protected him. No matter what happened in his life, he knew that God was with him. And like I was saying, we are really, sometimes we forgot what God has done in our lives. But we need to remember ourselves what God has done in our lives. I just want to share about something about my life. And in this moment, like I was trying to figure out how to share it. But I just want to share, like always I do. And then it's just like a few years ago, I have a really bad accident in my arm. And believe me, it's just a miracle that I don't know if I am alive. But in that accident, my arm broke in 3 pieces. On my way to the hospital, I remember a paramedic lost my pulse, and I was trying to just hear what they are saying in the radio. And I just remember that they are saying, we need to do that now just because we lost the pulse and his arm. I remember that I wake up a little bit in the emergency room, surrounded about, I don't remember how many doctors, but they are talking about, we need to cut it now. We need to cut it now. I don't know what that was mean in that moment, but I just remember they are saying we need to do that now. And I just pass out in that moment. Believing what I experienced in that day changed my life. For almost all my life, I was believing in God. I raised in a Christian family. But I always knew that God doesn't have grandchildren. God has just sons and daughters. That means that it's personal. In the time of the surgery, I don't even know what happened there. Supposed to be like a 90-minute surgery and took like 6 hours. And I just want to share what I saw. Like I said, I born in a Christian family. And I was always, since I was a kid, listen people that they are saying, oh yeah, I just have this encounter with God. I was in a really bad accident, or I have this problem and I go to heaven and come back. And I read my Bible and I was trying just to follow what the Bible says since I was a kid. And I was trying to do the best to make God smile. That day, I just remember there wasn't like in a really big room. I don't want to call it a room because I was like a empty space, dark space. And in my right, I can see all my family crying. I don't know why, but crying around me. I don't know if it was the hospital. I don't know if it was a funeral. But I know that they were crying like crazy. And in my left side, I just remember that I saw a door, like no open door, but you can see the gap in that door. That was the only thing that I can see in that area, in that room. And the light that came out from there, that was so bright Probably the thing that I can explain to you is like when you try to see the sun, and in that moment I just heard my name. Somebody call my name. Somebody say Henry. Believe me, I never heard a sweetest voice in my life saying my name. And that voice told me, do you want to stay? I remember that your response, I choose you. I don't even respond what he asked. I just say, I choose you. And he just laughed. And he says, it's not the time. In that moment, I just started hearing my name, Henry, and clapping. In that moment, I knew that was the doctor trying to wake me up. That day changed my life, because I knew that I find home. Like I said, for all my life, I was trying to figure out what God wants for me. And he desired me so hard, so bad. And sometimes I was just trying to please no people, but try to be at church all the time, trying to do the best that I can just to fill some spaces. But that day, I knew that he knew me by my name. And I know that he knows you by your name. He knows you. He knows what you are doing in this moment. So I can feel and I can see King David in this moment trying to figure out what is going to happen or what's going to happen after he was trying to escape, but his son, he was running for his life. Probably I was no, or probably yes, in that moment when I was in the surgery. But believe me, he is real. He is real, and nobody can take me that from me. And believe me, I don't care if you believe me or not, but for me, that's changed me. And I want to say that for those of us who have been called and chosen by God, there is no way that we can escape. We are going to have an encounter with him, with or without anesthesia. And believe me, it's better with anesthesia because it's painful less. I don't know how God is going to do it with you, but believe me, he is real. You know what? The key of David was that he turned to God as his first response, his last resort. David's priority was the Lord. And probably we are thinking in this moment like what these testimonies can be like using to explain the heart of worship. But believe me, first of all, you need to know that he exists, that he is real. Not just believe in God, believe him, that everything that he wrote in his word in the Bible is for you, and that is true. And I just want to leave you some question that maybe you can pray. I don't know if you are alone in this moment, if you are surrounded by friends, but just I want to ask you, if you need to pause and just meditate and pray for that, you can do it. The first question is this: do you really know him, or have you only heard about him? And that doesn't mean how many years you are in church or being a Christian. Second one, what are you worshiping? Are you worshiping your career? your business, your goals in life. And believe me, nothing is wrong, but nothing in our life is necessary like His presence. What are the things that you put first on God? The Bible says that you became what you worship. And this is the last one. It probably is a hard one. But I just want to ask you, what do you love the most in your life? Are you willing to give it to the Lord if He asks for it? And believe me, don't respond really quick. Think about it. But I just want to tell you something. His presence is enough. And like I said, you're probably asking, what does this testimony and all this, it has to do with the heart of worship. But one thing the heart of worship is to be thankful for what He's done in our lives. That's the reason is that to us, to worship, it doesn't matter how we feel or what is happening around us. It's just because we worship the Lord just because who He is and not for what He gives. And I think it's the time to go back to the heart of the Father, because He's waiting for us. He's searching for people who worship Him in spirit and truth. And believe me, the heart of worship is surrenders too. Because no matter what you are facing today, you continue to worship Him, knowing in your heart and mind that He is real and He will never leave us and He never gonna fail. Even if we fail, He's never gonna fail. So, do you believe Him? So if that's the case, worship Him. When I wake up in the hospital after the surgery, the doctor told me that I was not going to be able to play drums again. And you know what? It was funny because my first response was, but I am a drummer. And when I think about it now, it's just like, man, you was thinking that day? I was not thinking about like how I'm gonna work and how I'm gonna sustain my family, you know? The first thing that came out was like, I'm a drummer. That was crazy. So it's just like, but believe me, here I am, worship Him and playing. Not because the talent that He gave me, it's just because His mercy and His love. And believe me, sometimes it's painful. It's still painful. But that pain sometimes reminds me that everything that I do is not by my own ability or because I think that I'm smart, because I don't know, I'm not smart. But I know that I'm not playing just drum. I don't perform. I worship. And that's my heart. To see me, even me, sometimes when the church record something in the service, he used to see me like a miracle, playing, worship Him. For me, it's like knowing that God can do from nothing everything, and that He is the God of the impossible. So you can trust Him.